All right, let's jump right into the crude oil technical analysis, see what is coming up this week. First of all, a huge shout out to our members in our trading club. And if you remember from last Sunday's crude oil analysis, we have been talking about 72.50 since last week. Okay, we saw the trajectory of crude oil. We did take a look at some of the fundamentals. New president wants to lower oil prices, but that really wasn't it. We saw structure breaking down at the different time frames. So we talked about between 73 and 72.50, and sure enough, we came down right to that level. So this is going to be a very interesting level right here. And so what I want you to do is make sure that you are marking up your levels as you are going. So you have these levels coming up and you have them on your charts moving into the rest of the week as well. Now, I definitely want to go over some of the major headlines that we're beginning to see. Number one is Trump says oil and gas tariffs will come around February 18th. So you should keep that date in mind because I'm hearing a lot of February 18th. And if so, that is significantly going to move the price of crude oil on that given day. Trump also says that he will probably bring tariffs down to 10% on Canadian oil. Currently, he says it's at 25%. And I think this is why we're going to see the market head back up from this direction. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Russian sanctions dampen supply prospects, and OPEC Plus to discuss U.S. output plans on Monday. So you are definitely going to want to keep a little bit of tabs on what's going on Monday and as we head into February. So it looks like crude oil is going to remain a little volatile over the next couple of weeks. And you want to make sure that you are paying attention. Now, of course, if you're in the trading club, you don't have to worry. We got you. And even though we're never perfect, right, we are doing very, very well with crude oil. So let's go ahead and jump into the chart here and take a look at what is going on. And you can also read below some of the headlines on crude oil that'll be strolling through your screen at the bottom as well. Okay, so as we begin to look here at crude oil, we want to definitely take a look at this daily time frame. Okay, we came from the top here where we began to sell around this $80 mark, and we've been really much selling ever since. Okay, we have not been buyers in the market. We have been strictly sellers in the market. So the question is this going to change at least for now? Okay, at least for now. So we are sitting here on the daily time frame. As we climb up to the 8-hour time frame, this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so this candle here on the final 8 hours of trading closed in a bullish engulfing candle. So this leads me to believe, along with the fact that right now there are 25% tariffs being proposed for Canada, for example, which does impact our oil. And you just saw a few minutes ago where around February 18th, Trump says he might lower that to 10%. So could we be heading up for crude oil and then eventually back down? Because I think if the tariffs are lowered later in February, that's going to signal, that's going to signal positive news in some sense, right? So we are going to trade what we see. It's what we always do. And if you're struggling, I currently invite you to check out my website above. Pick the monthly plan that works for you. Come on in, give it a try for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can cancel. But I can guarantee you, you're going to find success with everything that we do in there with the daily analysis, the charts, the trade setups, and our very own Elliott Wave analyst who's in there full time as well. So come on in. And if you want to check out his channel, I'm going to go ahead and provide the link inside the video description as well. So we're beginning to see this push up. We're beginning to see this push up. Now I'm going to give you these levels so that you have it. And these are the exact same levels that we are going to be trading inside of the club because we like to trade level to level. right? So right around this 75 mark, we are going to see what price is going to do because we are going to come back up near this level. Okay. This candle has already told us that. So we might have a Sunday gap that gaps down or gaps up, but assuming we have no gap, we're probably going to see a pushback and then possibly price heading back up. And then structurally wise, we are going to need to see validation of candles closing above this level, okay, as we drop to the 4, if we are going to expect to see price climb back up. Now, you may have noticed on this chart, or maybe you did not, this looks like a gap in the market. Now, what I want you to do is to go to your broker. If maybe you want to pause this video for a minute, go to your broker and see if that's a valid gap, because not every broker has a valid gap. This gap on TradingView is not a valid gap, but there are some brokers where that gap does show. So if your broker shows an existing gap up at this price point, near that $79 price point, go down to the comments and type the word gap. And if you can, share the link of your chart so we can see as we can validate, because it's about a 50-50 right now. We're not playing the gap, but I want you to see if you do have that gap on your chart, as I am beginning to lose my voice. So as we look at crude oil, if we look at the current fundamentals, if we look at the current price structure, it does look like we are going to start possibly bullish for the week. We can see here on the 4-hour that we did close on Friday right above the zone. So I am pretty safe to say that we are definitely going to head up at least $1 to about 74.50 to 74.80, which will kind of bring us back to this next level of resistance. Then we are going to wait to see what price does here. Our next major level, we're going to head back to the 8-hour, is going to be right here, where price previously rejected. Okay. So again, as we go back to the 4-hour, we are going to wait to see what happens here. And in just a minute, I'm going to give you where the gap may or may not happen and what you should do. So trading does not have to be difficult, my friends. What makes it difficult are your emotions. Okay. And so as long as you can gather your emotions, trading becomes very simple. And this is why we're seeing so much success in our group, because I talk about discipline and emotions each and every day on our live stream. So I want to ask you a question. If emotions is messing up your trading, go down to the comments and type in emotions so I can get back to you with a personal message inside of the comments area, because trading is not hard. Trading by yourself with emotions is very hard. But if you get into a community, if you get around the right people, trading does not have to be very difficult, especially when you keep it very, very simple like I do. So we're expecting price to go up. We will alert you, of course, if you're in the trading club. You don't need to worry about getting this chart or the alerts, because you get all trade alerts for not only crude oil, but everything else. Once price reaches this level, we will begin to turn bullish now once the market opens, because now we know as we go on the 1-hour that price closed right here. So we are going to see if there is going to be possibly a gap on Sunday when the market opens. Okay. And so we will trade our live gap analysis on Sunday like usual. There could be a potential that crude oil just gaps way up here, right? Unlikely, but potential. Just like there's a potential that they take out a bunch of buyers and they gap down here. We have a strategy for this, and we'll trade this live on Sunday in the trading club. So for now, we have begun a bullish move towards crude oil after being bearish all the way since 80. Okay. And again, make sure that you check to see if that gap is there for you on your broker. So now that we have done, okay, this initial move up, we had some consolidation, then we did the push down, we had a little consolidation. Are we now beginning a possible move up as a result of some of the fundamentals that are happening with crude oil? So we are bullish on crude oil for now, at least to 74.80, heading into 75 and 76, and then we shall go from there. Okay, hey, don't forget, if you got some value on this video, it's absolutely free for you to hit the like button, and that would help me out as well in making sure that more people can see this video so we can get more folks trading and making some extra money on the side, and maybe eventually, who knows, maybe going full-time down the road. Okay, so thank you very much. And if you're brand new here, subscribe, hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on these long form videos, and expect to see more short analysis in my shorts feed. So you want to check out the shorts feed, not only for motivation, but I'm going to be doing 3 minutes or less on more symbols coming up over the next few months. So make sure that you are checking that out daily. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. As you can see, my voice is going. We're at 26,000. Can we hit 100,000 in the next few years? I hope so. That's my personal goal. So thank you again for being here. Take care, and we'll see you soon.